Welcome back to another Tech Speedrun where I run you through a Commander deck tech, where I run you through all the stats, how the way it's supposed to play, and run through a couple of hands as fast as I can. If you want to check this deck, you can check in the link in the description, as well as see some of the other decks that I have been making and brewing. Before we get into this deck, I just want to say that, yeah, it's a little dark in this room, but there's a reason for that. Even though this is being filmed in late July and released in early August, there's already sick freaks out there that are looking and trying their hardest to be ready for Halloween, even though it's multiple months away. So this one is for you. Eat your hearts out. For today's deck tech, let's get right into it in 3, 2, 1. So this deck tech speedrun is going to be Black Ops 1 Zombies. Why I call it that? It's zombie tribal. And I love Black Ops Zombies. I love Call of Duty Zombies. If you know me, I just love it. So the commander we're going to be running for this, it's mono black. It's mechanically unhollowed. And whenever other non-human creatures, which basically most of the deck is that, whenever they die, they come back with a +1/+1 counter on it. And it has Intimidate, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. Whenever a human deals damage to you, destroy it. That's a cool side effect. But the main point of this deck is to have your creatures die, as zombies do, have them come back, and just do a lot of mono black shenanigans throughout the whole entire deck. So we have a lot of things that love to die, like Gravecrawler, Putrid Goblin, which can go infinite, same as Gravecrawler, Undead Augur, which helps you deal damage to other, which helps you draw cards, which is really good. Solarport Cutler helps you basically kill your opponents by pinging them, which, again, if you do something like Putrid Goblin and stuff like that. But there are a lot of other things in here, like Araya, that's a good one, and Ling to basically get a good thing to do that with. Soulless one, that's a good one. Victor the Vampire, another pinging effect. Just a lot of ways to basically ruin your opponent's lives and bring stuff back from the grave, like Gary over here, or Gray, Merchant of Asphodel. Basically just do a lot of pain and suffering through your undead army. We also have Raised Dead, Demonic Tutor to try to basically sift through the deck so we can get the cards that we need to not only make combos happen, but to also win the game. And things like Buried Alive, just to fill up our graveyard. We don't really want to Bajuka Bog because of things like Rise of the Dark Realms, where we can basically make everything that's in everyone's graveyards come to our side. And with things like like Grave Pact, things like that, that's something that you would want to have, because whenever one of your creatures die, it's basically a good board wipe for the entire field. So you just have something die, come back, die, come back, die, come back, and it helps with Machias because he gives a +1/+1 counter that they can die multiple times. And you're like, oh, is there ways to do that? Duh, there are ways to help you sack creatures, like Ashnod's Altar. You get colorless mana, but, it's something. Hey, look, Banshee's Monument, you can cast things cheaper. And look, another ping effect. Phyrexian Altar, the GOAT when it comes to this deck, honestly. We got Grimoire of the Dead, we also have Bolas's Citadel. Just, if you want to win, that is a card to have on the battlefield. Because you could just basically look at your deck. You can play a lot of stuff. But a funny thing that you can do with Bolas's Citadel, and this is like even besides the speedrun, this card Simulacrum, you can do Bolas's Citadel or things like that and hurt yourself as much as you want. Just play this. And all of a sudden, it just deals all that damage to one of your creatures, and you're fine. It's like, hey, why don't you do that to Stuffy Doll? I'm just saying. It's something that's indestructible, or, like that. I'm putting that out there. It is so cheap of a card. I'm confused on how this card is not used more. It's really good. And this is what the mana curve looks like. You have a lot of stuff in your threes, which, which a bulk of the thing is. And you have things like Whispering One. Again, if you want to change it out, you can. And this deck list is always, it can be changing. If you check in the link in the description, you can, again, see what changes have been made. But let's play test this real quick. Looking at our hand, we only have 2 mana, but I feel like we can we can make something out of it. Let's draw. You know, with Future Goblin, I feel like something can happen from this. So let's play test it with it. We're going to play a Swamp per turn. We already drew because, whoops, with the Endling. And then we go into our next turn. Cool, we got another Swamp. We're going to play the Future Goblin this turn because yes. And then next turn, I'll play that Swamp. What else can we play? Future Goblin, something that's good if it needs to get sacked. We can just have it out, whatever, it doesn't matter. And we also have Animate Dead, which that's another good effect where you could just, bring Future Goblin back, which is very, 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 very good, in my opinion. I don't really see anything to do here, so I'll have to go into turn 4. And this is where it sucks. Mana screwing does happen. And it doesn't always happen, but I don't know what it is, but it's always seen on here that it happens. But hey, look, turn 5, I have something I can do. Whenever dies, look at the top card of your library. It's a zombie card you may reveal and put in your hand. If you don't, you may put it in your graveyard. So that's pretty cool. So like say, oh, Future Goblin dies. I can look at the top card of my library. Oh, cool. I don't need this. Yeah. So then I'll go into my next turn. Oh, Soloport cut through. Like, there's a lot of good card effects, and let's see if that actually reflects into a different hand. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. We're not going to get mana screwed in this one. So I think the first play that we're going to do is play Gerald Messenger. It's not the best thing to play, but hey, it's good. It's good. Or we'll go into it. So play Swamp, draw a card for turn. Imagine that it's a multiplayer format because it is a multiplayer format. Turn 1, just leave it. Turn 2. Yes, great turn 2 play. If you have 4 more creatures in a graveyard, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Yes, to your hand. That's a good, like, bring stuff back effect, and I love that for this deck. It's not really much you could do this turn, so I'll go into my turn 3, and this is where I will play Gerald's Messenger, and it's battlefield tap, but that really won't matter. Target opponent loses 2 life. Yeah. Next turn. Ooh, this is good. This is good. This is really, really good. So I think I want to play Vindictive Vampire because of the fact that Gerald's Messenger, when it dies, I can just sack it to any other effect or, block, chump block. I'll just do it that way. So I think Vindictive Vampire is the right way to go. Into each opponent. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's just a beefed up Zillibar cut through. So we go to the next turn. Phyrexian Reclamation's pretty good. I'll just play that for turn. And nothing really else. Going to the next turn. Here we go. Now I'm gonna play Gary. Each opponent loses life, you were X, and you gain life that way. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I would want to play Gray, Merchant of Asphodel first, and then boom, a lot of people lose life there. Yada, blah, 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 blah. Next turn. Swamp. I have 6. That's good. So then I could play my commander, Mikaeus. I mean, that's the hard thing, is to get Mikaeus out on the battlefield, but once you have Mikaeus out, if you have a way of even protecting him, or just making it so that your opponents, like, sacking your creatures or ways that you can do it, you're golden. You're golden. So now, like, Gerald's Messenger would come back with Undying. I mean, already has Undying, so it's not going to get the bonus, which is fine. But, target opponent's going to lose that life. So I can do that, I gain a life, and then say Gray, Merchant of Asphodel dies. Guess what? I get to bring it back. Amazing. Next turn. Let's do that. Under your control. Oh, and things like Minions Return. You can do that for any creature, not just yours. You can do that for any creature on the battlefield as kind of like Return of the Dark Realms, or the card that basically brings everything from a graveyard onto your battlefield. That is such a good effect. It's just small, but you can do it whenever, and nothing's wrong with that. So let's play Soulless One. RE1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is not bad for a 4/4. And then you're just gonna play more zombies. And then let's see that. Play a Graveborn Muse. Even though like by now, if you got a game that's like casual stuff like this, you're gonna be having a lot of fun. It's not like the fastest deck ever, and I wouldn't say that it's an EDH deck, but it's so much fun. And once you get it going, it is so painful. So I think that is it until now, and I'll catch you next time.